What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Floyd Mayweather Jr., aka Money Mayweather, in his earlier fighting days, they called him Pretty Boy Floyd, has recently put out a couple of training videos. You know, he was working on a heavy bag. In one video I saw, then another video I saw, he was working with his son, showing him how to properly throw a punch. You know, throw the left hand, throw the right hand, and his son was mimicking how he was, showing him how to do that, man. They were both in the ring, you know, doing the 1-2 punch, you know, and his son looked pretty good, and man, looked pretty good in that video, man. So who knows, man? Maybe his son is gonna start his boxing career and have his daddy, you know, be his, basically be his trainer and be the guy that gets the ball rolling on his boxing career. We'll see what happens with that, man. But as far as his video of him by himself working on the heavy bag, man, it kind of made me think, man, hey, man, is Floyd Mayweather coming back? Is he coming out of retirement? Now, it's been a lot of speculation ever since he defeated Andre Berto in his last fight that fulfilled the CBS Showtime multi-fight humongous contract deal that he signed. I think it was a 5-fight deal, or maybe it was a 6-fight deal. It culminated when he defeated Manny Pacquiao in the fight before his last fight. Actually, he won that fight by unanimous decision and secured a huge payday in that fight. And then he finished it up with a decision win over Andre Berto, which took place September 12, 2015 on Mexican Independence Day. Now, shortly after that fight, he announced his retirement, and he hasn't been back in the square circle since, despite rampant speculation about him coming back. Now, I know you guys are going to say, wait a minute, JB Sports, he fought Conor McGregor. I'm talking about a real boxing fight. I'm talking about a fight against a top world level fighter. I'm not talking about that fight against Conor McGregor, man. I know that was a sanctioned boxing match. It actually was a 12-round sanctioned fight, but it was against a guy that had never boxed before, a guy that came from the MMA, a guy that was a world-known fighter from the UFC MMA, and a guy that had a big following and a huge UFC following. And Floyd Mayweather, being the smart businessman that he was able to get that fight made, and which brought the boxing fans along with the UFC fans, and with the two biggest names in combat sports, in Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, and they made for a huge, successful pay-per-view event. I'm talking about boxing, though. Boxing, a guy, you could tell when Mayweather fought Conor McGregor, first of all, he didn't train and take that fight seriously at all, man. And you see how he fought that fight. He didn't use any kind of shoulder roll or use any of his defensive skills in that fight. He basically walked Conor McGregor down and let Conor McGregor punch himself out before stopping him in the second half of that fight. That's not what Floyd Mayweather does if he's in there with a serious fighter, a guy that he knows can actually knows the fundamentals of boxing, which Conor McGregor didn't know. But give him credit for win, and that went on his professional boxing record. It is what it is. But his last time he was in a competitive fight with a true boxer was Andre Berto, and that was 2015. And ever since then, it's been speculation about when Floyd Mayweather would get in the ring again and face an actual fighter. It even went after the win over Conor McGregor, as he was able to stop Conor McGregor. I think it was, the 9th or 10th round, if I can recall, somewhere in there. I know it was towards the second half of the fight, he was able to defeat Conor McGregor. And even after that fight, which I don't look at as a serious boxing match, that's just my opinion. He won the fight, but like I said, Conor McGregor had never fought professionally in a boxing ring before that fight with Floyd Mayweather. So ever since then, it was speculation again that Floyd Mayweather would, as he announced his retirement after that fight, he would not. He said he wouldn't fight again after that fight. Would he come back? You know, it's been speculated when Manny Pacquiao signed with the PBC that him and Mayweather would fight a rematch. But Floyd Mayweather came out after that and quickly dispelled those rumors and said, nope, he's not fighting Manny Pacquiao again. He said he fought him the first time, and he beat him. You know, he basically, in his words, he basically washed him in the first fight, beat him, wasn't competitive. Manny Pacquiao made excuses after the fight about his shoulder was messed up, and then he didn't have any kind of surgery. He went to some kind of lake, pool, or ocean where the salt water was at. I ain't gonna say pool, but he went to some kind of lake or ocean where there was some salt water there, and he dipped his shoulder and his body in that salt water, and magically his soldier was repaired. But Mayweather wasn't having it, and he felt that Manny Pacquiao was trying to take away from his win, and I think that's another reason why Mayweather didn't really want to give him the rematch. So put it like this, wasn't enthusiastic about giving him a rematch. But now the circumstances have changed, man, with this coronavirus going on. Boxing is going to be looking to stage big fights if they get back at the end of this year toward the fall. And they can't really be messing around, man, because they've lost a lot of standing, and they've lost a lot of money with these with boxing being out of commission for several months. So they're gonna be looking to stage big fights. Now from what I'm hearing, now this is not nothing set in stone, but from what I'm hearing, Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders was supposed to take place in May 2nd. That fight obviously got canceled, and they're looking to get Canelo back in the ring in September. They're hoping that he will be able to fight Cinco de Mayo, and he will be able to fight Mexican Independence Day in September. And the fight they're looking to make is the Triple G fight at the Zone, just like other boxing outlets have been without boxing and have been unable to show boxing cards and put on boxing events on their platform, are going to be looking to come in with a bang once boxing does resume. So that's the biggest fight that can be made on the Zone. So I look for Canelo and Triple G3 to happen in September, Mexican Independence Day 2020. And then October comes. We're going to have Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury in a trilogy. The date that they're looking at is October 3rd. So those are the two biggest fights that can be made in boxing, and they'll be happening, if everything goes well, in September and October. Now, the PBC is in a precarious situation with Manny Pacquiao. Now, Pacquiao has been speculated that he's going to be fighting Mikey Garcia on the Zone. Now, Eddie Hearn came out shortly after Mikey Garcia defeated Jesse Vargas at the fight that took place in Frisco, Texas, at the Dallas Cowboys practice facility, that he'd be looking to talk with Manny Pacquiao's representatives, and they would be looking to make that fight July the 11th. But again, the coronavirus wiped the boxing schedule off the map, and that fight quickly fell through the grapevine, so to speak. So they will be looking to make that fight happen. And that'll be the biggest fight for Manny Pacquiao if he can't get the Floyd Mayweather fight. Now, the PBC and Al Hammond knows this. They've heard this, and they know that they've been really trying to get Errol Spence to fight. If they couldn't get Mayweather to come out of retirement, they were trying to get Errol Spence to fight with Manny Pacquiao. But obviously, Manny Pacquiao, if he can't get the Mayweather fight, the fight that he's looking at is the fight that's going to generate him the most money. Manny Pacquiao is at the point of his career where he's not going to fight for nothing less than $20 million guaranteed. And obviously, Eddie Hearn and DAZN, who have shown they had deep pockets, have probably coming up with the money that Manny Pacquiao would demand in a fight. That's $20 million, and that fight would take place on DAZN on an app. And that fight, in the place that fight could generate that type of revenue where they could pay Manny Pacquiao is Saudi Arabia. As you know, Eddie Hearn held the Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz rematch in Saudi Arabia, and both fighters made huge paydays. I think Anthony Joshua made somewhere between 25 and maybe 25 to 30 million dollars for that fight. So he made big money. And I think Andy Ruiz, he doubled what he made in the first fight. I think he made 7 million in the first fight. So he made more than that in the rematch. So he made it probably around about 15 million or close to $15 million in that rematch. So they've shown that they got deep pockets, and that fight took place over there in Saudi Arabia, where Eddie Hearn is looking to stage Manny Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia. Now, Al Hammond and PBC, knowing that this is going on, know that the only fight that's going to make sense and that they will be able to pay Manny Pacquiao what he wants, which is $20 million or more, would be a fight with Floyd Mayweather. If they don't offer Floyd Mayweather, they risk losing Manny Pacquiao to DAZN in a fight with Mikey Garcia. So that's why I'm thinking that the Mayweather, due to I don't know his financial situation. He made a lot of money over his career, but he's got huge expenses. I don't want to get him. I don't want a pocket watch, but he's got a big security team. He's got kids he's paying for. He's got baby mamas and things of that of nature that he's got to pay for. He's got different. He's flying around in private jets. So if you're not boxing, you're not bringing in that type of income to sustain that type of lifestyle. When you steady putting money out, but you don't have as much money coming in. Now he did do an exhibition over there in Japan, I think. He fought a karate MMA guy, a guy that was a martial arts guy. I ain't gonna say karate, martial arts guy over there in Japan. And I think he made around $7 million for that fight. That was like a 3-round exhibition, so that was some quick, easy money. But that was probably over a year ago. So, due to maybe his financial situation, I'm not saying he's hurting for money, but like I said, to sustain that type of lifestyle that he leads, and he's got a huge money that he's putting out. He's got a lot of people relying on him, family members, kids, like I say, baby mamas and stuff like that. And he's got a lot of stuff going on. Now he is a promoter of Mayweather Promotions. He promotes that, and he is got a stake in the PBC, so he is getting money like that. But he's not making money that he was making when he was making those big paydays fighting, especially his 3 of his last fights when he fought Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor. So he might be looking to cash in and fight Manny Pacquiao, a fight that would pay him a huge sum of money, and that's another fight that would help keep Manny Pacquiao over with the PBC and Al Haymon, which they are in danger of losing him to the Zone and Eddie Hearn in a fight that will take place in Saudi Arabia, like I said earlier. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires, man. That's what gives me more confidence that Floyd Mayweather could come out of retirement. And fight Manny Pacquiao. Al Haymon might have called Mayweather and said, "Hey, look, man, I need you to come out of retirement, man, and fight Manny Pacquiao again, man. I know Manny Pacquiao has been more active than you. You haven't fought a real fight since 2015. But due to this coronavirus and due to the fact that Manny Pacquiao last fight against Keith Thurman was January of 2019. So it'll be almost a year before he my bad. I'm not gonna say January, but I know it was his January of 2020. Well, no. I'm tripping. We're in April 2020. Manny Pacquiao last fight was against Keith Thurman. And what was that fight? Wasn't that fight toward the spring of 2019? So it would be at least a year or more than a year since he got back in the ring if he was to fight a Mayweather or even a Danny Garcia toward the end of 2020, or toward the end of 2020. You're looking at maybe November of 2020 where that fight could probably take place, right around the time, maybe a little bit before Thanksgiving. They could maybe stage that fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. I'm just kind of thinking out loud because, like I said, you got Canelo, Triple G in September. You got Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder trilogy October 3rd. They wouldn't want to do another big pay-per-view event until either November or December, and that's what they could put Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather Jr. too. So we'll see what happens, man. But that's what I'm hearing, man. Like you see him working on the heavy bag, man. And he's really working on the heavy bag. I can see the look in his eyes. He's looking at heavy bag. That don't look like a guy that's just trying to stay in shape. Like, I'm just hitting on the heavy bag, trying to stay in shape. It looks like he's really trying to refine his skills, and he's really trying to test himself, make sure he still has the skills that he had when he was winning. Going 50-0. Of course, he's not going to be pretty boy Floyd Mayweather. That version of Floyd Mayweather will never come back. But if he can be what he was when he fought Andre Berto in the last fight, or when he fought Manny Pacquiao, and he finally fought him, and that was in 2015. If he can get back to that level, he probably feels in his mind that he could beat Manny Pacquiao. And the inactivity that he hasn't fought since 2015 in a real fight, he can justify and say, well, look, Manny Pacquiao haven't fought in over a year too, so he's gonna be dealing with the same rustiness that I'm gonna have to deal with. Even though I've been out much longer, he's still gonna be inactive and haven't fought in a while. I think that was another reason why Mayweather was hesitant to fight Manny Pacquiao before this point, because Manny Pacquiao was active. He had fought Adrian Broner, and he had fought Keith Thurman twice in a year, and I think it within a 6-month span. And so he was very active, and Mayweather hadn't fought since 2015 in a real fight, real boxing match. And but now the tables have been turned, and the playing field has been leveled, so to speak. Both guys gonna be facing inactivity. Both guys are gonna have to deal with rustiness, and you really rustiness is overrated, man. You can you knock the rustiness off in sparring. You spar, you get good, real good sparring partners, guys that are high level sparring partners. You get in and you spar with them, man. You can knock the rustiness off, man. I think Sean Porter did a video about that, man. He was saying all of us are gonna be in the same boat, so that's why he's willing to look at a fight between him and Errol Spence that he wasn't looking at before, a rematch between him and Errol Spence that he wouldn't be looking at before because of Errol Spence coming off that automobile accident and need time to get back from that. He's saying we all in the same boat due to the coronavirus and being out the ring. Every fighter is in the same boat, so he's willing to fight Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Danny Garcia, and Manny Pacquiao, and guys that's in his division, the top guys in his division. Same situation that Mayweather might be looking at as far as a rematch with Manny Pacquiao. But it's just speculation I'm hearing, man. But that might be Al Haymon and PBC only chance to keep will be his only chance to keep Pacquiao with the PBC. And the PBC needs to, if they can, keep Pacquiao in fold, for a big fight because of the biggest name on their roster is obviously Deontay Wilder, and then after that I'll probably put Errol Spence. Those are the two biggest fighters on their roster. And Deontay Wilder, if he were to lose in October against Tyson Fury in the trilogy, that would be a big blow to Al Haymon and the PBC, and they would be looking to have a fighter that kind of change the pattern, man, and go back to old reliable Floyd Mayweather, a guy that's been carrying boxing for the last decade, and be looking for him to put on a big pay-per-view fight with a Manny Pacquiao, another guy that they would say would be, up under the PBC banner, and they could kind of save face and say, look here, we still control boxing, we still run boxing, we still have two of the biggest stars in boxing up under our banner. Even though our guy, Deontay Wilder, who's been holding it down ever since Floyd Mayweather retired, basically picked up the torch, carrying the torch since Floyd Mayweather retired. It's taken another L. He's going to have to try to rebuild his career. We still got the two of the biggest boxers, two household names on our roster in Mayweather and Pacquiao. So that might be what Al Haymon and PBC thinking about, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires, man. But look, it's going to be interesting to see what happens after this coronavirus kind of gets under control and everybody goes back to somewhat of a normal life and these sporting events start taking place, the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, boxing, UFC, and we'll see what happens, man. But I think boxing is going to lend themselves to be trying to stage the biggest fight to get these fans to come out and watch these fights because they were having a hard time selling tickets before this pandemic was going on. A lot of people would rather stay at home and watch it on TV than go to it and watch it live. So it's going to be very hard to get people to come out and be amongst thousands upon thousands of people to watch a fight, man. So they're going to need to be making the biggest fights possible to get people out and get people to say, well, shit, this is a big fight, man. I got to be there. I got to be there live, man. They say they got this thing under control. They got it somewhat under control. I want to get out here and watch the fight. I want to be live and see, I witness this fight. And in order for you to get people to come out for your fights, you've got to have the best of the best fighting, the biggest names fighting, and that's the only way you can do it. So that's why I see Al Haymon and the PBC, if they can convince Mayweather, and was Mayweather doing these training videos, posting these training videos, he might be inching towards making that decision to come out of retirement and giving Manny Pacquiao his rematch, which would then keep Manny Pacquiao up under Al Haymon and the PBC banner and keep him from the grasp of Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing and set up a mega fight, a rematch between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. And PBC will be part of two out of three of the biggest fights toward the end of 2020. The other fight will be on the zone, obviously, with Canelo and Triple G 3, but Wilder Fury 3. That'll be a fight that's promoted by Top Rank and the PBC. And then you will have Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather Jr., a fight that will be exclusively promoted by Al Haymon and the PBC. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. Another thing we need to look out for. Another thing I just failed to mention before I close this video out, man. A couple of months ago, Floyd Mayweather and UFC's Dana White met up, and they was discussing staging some huge boxing events as Dana White is looking to dip his toe in the water of boxing. He's looking to get involved in the sport of boxing, man. They were speculating that Mayweather would have a big fight, and UFC and Dana White of UFC would be part of that fight. So I don't know if Mayweather would be fighting some UFC fighters, which he's been come out and said that he wouldn't mind fighting Conor McGregor or Khabib. He wouldn't mind fighting them. Them two fights would be a huge big pay-per-view events. But from what I've heard, Khabib told him, he said, okay, I will fight you, but we go 11 rounds boxing and 1 round MMA. That's the deal. And I don't think Floyd Mayweather would be willing to do that type of fight. And then Conor McGregor, the rematch, he might be down for doing it, but maybe Dana White wouldn't want to do that fight because that'd be 2 losses that the best that you have in the UFC, fighting the best they have in boxing, you 0 for 2. So maybe Dana White wouldn't be willing to do that. So I don't think that fight is more possible than the Khabib fight, but I don't see that fight happening anytime soon either. So the best bet is for Floyd Mayweather for Manny Pacquiao to fight, and then maybe Floyd Mayweather put some of his TMT fighters on a card and work that can work with Dana White as he, like I said, dips his toe into the pool and test the waters in the sport of boxing. We'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires, man. But leave your comments in the comment section. What you think about a possible Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch? Will that be a fight that boxing will be looking to stage to help boxing make a comeback from this pandemic, this coronavirus? Or you think it's more plausible that Pacquiao leaves the PBC and Al Heyman and goes with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom Boxing and fights Mikey Garcia on the zone? I think that's plan B. If he can't get Mayweather, I think he fights Mikey Garcia. But if Al Heyman and PBC can deliver Mayweather, Pacquiao is going to stay with the PBC and fight Mayweather. Pacquiao is sitting in the catbird seat, basically. He's got all the leverage. He's basically saying, hey, Al, I signed with you guys thinking that I was going to get the Mayweather rematch. You guys have not delivered the Mayweather rematch. So I've got this big deal over here with a matchup with Mikey Garcia that's going to pay me what I want, which is the minimum of $20 million. I can fight him and fight him over there in Saudi Arabia, on a card that's promoted by Matchroom Boxing, and and I can go over there and fight, or I can stay here with you guys like I've done the last 2 fights, which have delivered big pay-per-view numbers. The Adrian Broner fight and the Keith Thurman fight. I think the Adrian Broner fight did 400,000 pay-per-views approximately. And then then the Keith Thurman fight with Manny Pacquiao did 600,000 pay-per-views. I can stay over here and keep producing good numbers with you guys, but you got to deliver me your cash cow, the pound-for-pound king of boxing, the pound-for-pound cash king of boxing this last decade, and that's Floyd Mayweather Jr. You got to deliver him to me, stay on and fight and continue to fight under the Al Heyman PBC banner. So, like I said, Manny Pacquiao is holding all the cards, and it's going to be up to Al Heyman to deliver Floyd Mayweather. And by these videos getting posted, maybe Mayweather's inching towards that decision to get back in the ring and fight Manny Pacquiao, which would deliver him the biggest payday currently out there in the sport of boxing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.